a very, very happy Monday. I am too excited for today. Too excited. So as you can see, I do have the fabulous Jennifer McGuire with me, and I am so excited to get crafty with her. She is going to be showing me some fabulous techniques, and I'm going to see if I can follow along. Hello, everyone. We do hope that you're having a great week. If you are watching on the Altenew channel, don't forget to share because you will be in a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Altenew store. Hi there, Jennifer. I've got you mid-sip. How is it going?
Hello. Well, you need to introduce yourself for the people who are on my channel, because you've done a guest video for me before, so people may know you from that. But why don't you tell everybody what your role is?
Hi, so I am Lydia. I am the creative ambassador over at Altenew. Now, that's just a fancy name from I get to play with paper and do crafty stuff. It covers everything and then a little bit of nothing. So that is what I do over at Altenew. And yeah,
wonderful.
I know. Jennifer McGuire. So we are so excited to be continuing on and nearly finishing off our 10-year anniversary. So it has been such a fun decade, and we are so lucky to be able to top it off with Jennifer joining us for a live. So if you do have any questions, please let us know. I will ask the wonderful Jennifer. And I know that Jennifer has this great thing of when you have a question, put it in caps, and then we can see it. So if you do
yeah.
it's
hard to catch it when you're creating, and especially with two people on, it's hard to catch the questions, but we will do our best. Mike, can you put up the questions? Is it possible so we can see them?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. He has to do it all. I just glue stuff together.
Yeah, we just play with paper, but we're good. So
yes.
The wonderful person behind the badge today, I believe, is Keisha, but please let me know if it is not, and we can get on to crafting. So did you want to pop yourself down, or did you want to talk first?
Sure. Well, when we talked about going live together, we talked about, because it's 10 years of Altenew, and I've actually been using it from day one. I remember getting that email from Tasneem and Jen when they were starting, and I was already fans of theirs. So when they said they were starting a stamp line, I said yes without seeing it because I knew I would love it. So I've been using Altenew for all these years, and it makes me very happy. I'm very honored that I get to use it so often. So you suggested we use something new, but use it along with some much older things. So that's what we're going to try to do today. And I came up with something, and Lydia's going to create along with me, but it's a 2-for-1 technique. So you basically are doing one technique to start with, and then it splits into 2 cards, which is always a win-win. So Lydia will probably be putting her own spin on things because she is definitely very creative and awesome with color. So I can't wait to see what she does. All right.
All right. Okay.
So we have. Can you see okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so this is the Bouquet of Poppies, which is one of Altenew's newer stamp sets. This is a big mama. This is a big mama. This is it 8.5 by 11? Is that the size of this? Let's see.
Yeah.
So there's a full sheet of cardstock. You can see it's 8.5 by 11. So it is big. And what's nice about that big size is this is one big image that we can use to create 2 cards at once. But then there are also smaller images that you can use on a card also. So there is the stamp set, the Big Mama stamp set. Then there are the layering stencils, the color that allow you to color in the images if you don't want to watercolor or use markers. And the guide really tells you how to use the stencils to color in all of the images in the stamp set. And then there is the coordinating die set. I think I'm only using this coordinating die for a butterfly on one of my cards. We won't be using the flowers, but do know that's available. Is there anything else you want to say about this luscious large stamp set, Lydia?
This is fabulous. So we do have many different sentiments on this as well that are great for the inside of the card. So if you do struggle with adding messages in, there are some larger ones which would be fabulous on the inside of the card, but you can also use them on the front too.
Wonderful, wonderful. So this will be the main focus of our cards. However, we're also incorporating 2 older sets, and these both have been on my favorites list in the past. My favorite crafty things. They are very well loved. One is the leaf cluster. This one I think is great because it goes with you can use it like as a filler for a lot of the floral images you have, or you can just do a card on its own. And because they're different sizes and kind of shapes and different leaves, it's, you can find what you need in it. There are coordinating dies available and also some great little sentiments. The other oldie but goodie is one of my most used stamp sets of all time. I love this pinstripe set. These are big, both 6x8, by the way, so they're big. This is a great stamp for lots of different techniques, and I've used it many, many times in videos, and today we'll be using it for another technique. So we have those 3 sets that we're using together, 1 brand new and 2 that are a bit older. So do you have those same ones?
Yep, I've got them and I'm ready and raring to go. So these ones I think are great for maybe guys cards as well. So if you wanted to get these and then maybe stretch them a little bit more, they are fabulous for using for more masculine designs as well.
You can see mine are well loved because they're falling off the packaging. They probably need a bath, but who wants to clean, right?
Yeah, no.
I don't want to clean. So we're going to make 2 cards. Do you think I should show them the cards that we're kind of the direction we're aiming to start with? Do you think we should show them or make it a surprise as we go?
I think we can leave it to a surprise.
Okay, we'll leave it to a surprise. So for the technique we're doing today, we need 2 pieces of white cardstock. Any white cardstock should work. I've cut these already to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I think Lydia's got the same ready to go.
Yep.
Now we're going to put one of these aside, and I'm putting one of them into my stamp wheel. Now you could use your stamp wheel, whatever stamp positioner you have. The stamp wheel has like a sticky mat that's in the inside of it. And this is the same material as a stamp set. Oh, somebody's asking me to zoom out. Let me see if I can do that. I got a new camera. Ooh, hold on. Let me see if I can do it. I can zoom out a little bit. If it zoom out much more, you'll see my belly, and you don't want to see that. Okay, so this has a sticky mat in it that is the same material stamps are made of, so you know how that's a little bit of stick to it. But they also now have these sticky mats that you can put inside. And this has more of like the sticky that you would see like on a electric die cut machine, kind of that holds the paper in place. And you can use both sides. And there's a white one and a black one. So I'm just going to use this today to show you how it works inside of the stamp wheel. It's cut to be just the right size and go in there. But you don't need to use that if you don't want to. And I am going to place one of my white cardstock pieces into that. And we're going to stamp some leaves. Now, you could do this step later, which I'll mention later when you could do it. But I thought it'd be good to start out with it. I want to end up having on this card some flowers over on this left edge. And I want to do those flowers over these stamped leaves. So really you can do this however you want. I just want to try to fill in some of this area over here. Again, there will be flowers over this, but I wanted some soft leaves kind of coming behind it. Lydia, what is the black mat called?
So that is the slim grip sticky mat. And I just want to show you that I use mine differently than you use yours. So it is made so you can use your cling stamps. So if you take your ultra sticky mat out, you can then stick it to the bottom of your stamp wheel. And you can see that because we have that like sticky on the back as well. Mine has been stuck in. And then you can use it with a cling stamp because you've got that extra kind of edge there then. And then because I'm a little bit lazy, I just pop my ultra sticky mat on the top.
Smart.
So I have
Then you have it there ready to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what I'm going to do after this live? I'm going to go do that. I have the white sticky mat and the black sticky mat. I think I'll keep the white underneath
Yeah.
and keep the black to use separately.
I do love having the white underneath because it's just so clean, although my mat is a bit stained.
Well, a loved mat is a dirty mat is a loved mat.
Yeah,
a stained mat is a loved mat.
Keeping it clean is that it needs to be used.
So I have positioned 3 of the leaves. You could use any from that set, but I've positioned 3 to just kind of come out from the left-hand side.
Okay.
And then we can use the top of the stamp wheel. And I put a little heart, enamel heart here, so that I know that that's always going to be at the bottom pointing towards me, so that when I take this off and then put it back on, I don't turn it by accident. So I have my stamps laid out, and I'll pick up those stamps by pressing the top plate on. And now we have our stamps here. Now these stamps are not clean. I can be certain of that because I use them a lot. So I'm just going to give them a quick wipe here and then take a dry cloth to it. Oops. Take a dry cloth to it. These definitely, I rarely need to clean a stamp like under this in the sink with soapy water because I don't know, I don't mind them being dirty, but when you've used it a lot, sometimes you need to do that.
Yeah.
All right, now
I normally just rub my hand over it because I'm lazy.
Yeah. Who wants to clean in the craft room, right? You want to be stamping. Now I'm stamping this with a light ink. This is called Permanent Mist Gray. You could use any light ink. You could do like a light blue, a light green, really anything. But I really liked this mist color. It's a nice middle of the road light gray. Lydia, can you tell me more about this ink and what it was created for? Because I'm just using it for some soft background stamping.
Sure. So
can you talk about what it was created for?
Yeah. So if you know, we have a permanent black, and that was made so you could use it with your artist markers. Now, if you wanted to do a no-line coloring, that's hard to do with black. So we came up with the same formula that we have in the black ink, but in a gray ink. So you can use this with your alcohol markers to get that no-line look. So, yeah.
Beautiful. So
you
can use it for no-line coloring, which I don't do because I'm not that good. So I will instead use the color for some soft stamping in the background.
It's still a beautiful color.
Yes, it is. It's a nice because it's not too warm, not too cool. You could always use like a light blue or whatever that would match your card. But whatever stamping you do here, definitely do a light color. All right. So we're done with our leaf clusters. I'm going to set that aside. If you go to Altenew's website and look at leaf cluster, look up the leaf cluster, they'll have tons of examples there. And if you search on my blog on Altenew leaf cluster, you'll see many examples also because I've used it many times. All right. So we both have a similar thing going on here, right?
Yep. I think I did mine a little bit different, and they do have a tinge of blue to them because obviously I did not clean mine. I think we're okay.
I think that'll be good. Okay, so now we have our 2 pieces, the one we stamped on and the solid white. Both are the same size. I'm going to flip these over and put some tape on the back so that it'll work like one piece of cardstock.
Okay.
So let me show you. I'm using Altenew satin tape, which I love. This is a great tape for masking. It's similar to painter's tape, but it is modified to have just the right amount of stick for card making. So I taped it together. So this on the left-hand side is the solid white, and on the right-hand side is the leaf piece.
I did mine slightly differently because I wanted to make sure that my edge wasn't really tight. So I put them together, and I'm just going to fold the tape around there. But yeah, we've got the same thing.
She's so smart.
No.
See, this is why we should craft together more often, because we bounce these ideas off each other.
Yeah, we're going to just do it differently.
That's good. This is good.
All right.
Now we both are working on the Altenew Altenew grip sticky mat. Now, can you tell everybody about this particular sticky mat?
This is one of my favorite things ever. So this never leaves my desk.
Yes.
We do have one of these in the stamp wheel. So if you have the stamp wheel, you do get the smaller size. But this is gigantic. So this is, I think it's
9 by 12.
9 by 12. And what it's going to enable you to do is going to enable you to add more than one panel on. Also, if you have, like, if you struggle a little bit with your hands and with two open ink pads, the great thing about this is you can stick it down on your ink pad and just do a little twist, and everything is not going to move. Even when I kind of ink with this later on, that is just going to be stuck there. So if you need a little extra hand to keep things in place, this is a great way to go.
Another great thing about it is, say you want to use like a T-ruler to find the center, you can place it down and it will hold your T-ruler in place while you stamp along it or ink around it or whatever you want. And you'll see it holds stencils in place well too. I keep mine out. I actually hang this on the back of the chair that is behind me because I always need it. So it just hangs over the back. All right. Next, we need
the question. Sorry.
Okay. Go for it.
Andrea's asking, could you use an oxide ink for the light color ink? Is it okay to stamp with a dye on top of oxide inks?
You know, I think it'll be fine. You'll just want to make sure you heat set it. I think it'll be okay. So yeah, like the Lost Shadow, light gray would be good. I do think it's better if this is stamped with dye ink, but I think you would be fine with using an oxide.
Okay, thank you. Because
if you plan to do, by the way, if you do this stamping in oxide ink, I would do the next step of when we do the stenciling on top of this, I would do that with oxide inks. Then you'd be good to go. But I'm going to do all dye inks today.
You need to put the plastic back on the mat.
Somebody asked if you need to keep the plastic on the mat. I don't.
No.
Do you?
No, me neither.
No.
Also, I find that it's like really hard to get it off all the time. And I find that if you keep the actual packaging, it's easier to stick that on the top and then remove that every time rather than the acetate piece.
Very good.
Just a heads up.
Very good. I don't know. I just let mine be. I feel like the more you love on this the sticky mat, the better it holds. I don't know why, but seems to be the case. Okay, next we're going to stamp with this Big Mama stamp. And I'm going to use the lid of my stamp wheel as like a giant acrylic block. So if you don't have a large stamp wheel top like this, the stamp wheel top, anything large would work, or you could just lay the stamp on your desk and put the paper on top of it to stamp. So it's totally up to you how you go about stamping this big image. I could do the stamping inside of the stamp wheel, but I want these two pieces together, so it makes more sense to just use this without the base of the stamp wheel. There's a question, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Do you wash the mats often, or do they stay sticky for a good length of time? I've never washed my mat. I will just take a baby wipe and just, oh, sorry.
No worries.
I will just take a baby wipe. This doesn't have anything in it. They're really mild baby wipes, and I'll wipe it off. Or you can just use like a damp cloth, and I find that's enough. But that,
yeah, I use my chamois for mine, so that's
there you go.
Yep.
And if you get a stubborn stain on it, you can use a stamp cleaner on it because this is stamped material, so that would make sense. All right, now I'm using one of the best black inks there is, the Altenew Obsidian Black Pigment ink. I like this one because it's super dark and because it stamps so crisp. Do you use this one a lot too, Lydia?
Yeah, I use that, but I was going to go for a light look with my outlines, so I actually have Silverstone. So we're going to see how this goes.
Perfect. That's a great gray. Now I'm going to stamp this down, and I want to stamp it so it's kind of coming out from this corner over here, the bottom corner here. And you'll see that it's going to stretch across both panels. So let's put that down. I hope I didn't shift it. I get nervous stamping live. It's not easy, man.
I did a live last week, and I did the foiling, which I find is more.
Yeah,
really
that's stressful. It does. All right, so I stamped that with black ink. Now, if I get some areas where I didn't stamp completely, I did okay. But if I get some areas where I didn't stamp completely, I can always draw it in with a black pen. Or if you get a little double stamping, see I shifted it a little bit, I can cover some of that with a white gel pen, but I don't really have that much. Here I'll do a little black pen to fill that in later. She did much better at that than me. Look at that.
No.
I like the stone color.
I didn't go far enough over.
Yeah, it's okay. No, I think you did. Looks good. Looks good. All right. So she stamped with soft stone and I've stamped with black.
Yep. So we're going to get some different looks. We're going to have a much softer look on this one than Jennifer's bold outline.
Yeah, I'm going bold today. I'm going bold. Something about the poppies. Now, poppies are normally not the color I'm choosing to do today, but when you're creating your own garden, you can do whatever you want. So I have the layering stencils here, and I wanted to show you one of the things that I like to do when I get layering stencils. I like to write my own number on it. Now, there's an engraved number to the stencil on the stencil, like it's engraved 1, but I have a hard time seeing that when I create. So I use a black permanent pen and I write the stencil number, and then I put a piece of clear Scotch tape over it so that it never wipes away. And I find that works really well. Somebody asked, will this stamp fit into a MISTI? It'll fit into the stamp wheel. If you turn it kind of at a diagonal.
I believe it stops. Yeah, it goes into the medium one.
Yep, it goes into the original MISTI just fine. So yep. So I could have done that too, but I just wanted to show you if you don't have something big enough, you can. So I off screen wrote the numbers of the stencils, which makes it easier when you're following along on their little guide that comes with it. All right, so stencil number 1, I'm going to line it up with the image. And the nice thing is, I don't know if you can see on the stencil, do you see there are engraved lines? Mine are kind of pink because I did red ink on this earlier, but those engraved lines help you to line up with the image. So let's see.
I also love the fact on these that they have the name of the stamp set engraved as well. So if you're anything like me and you wash your stencils once every so often and you do a huge stack of them, the fact that they've got the name of the stamp set on there and you don't have to guess which one goes with which is a great way to go about them.
Very true. And so now we've laid our first stencil over. Notice that it's really suctioned nicely onto the sticky mat, so it's not going to move as we do our ink blending.
The amount of tape that I don't go through now because you don't stick them down. Oh, it's fab.
It's true. It's true. So what color of inks are you going to use for your flowers?
Yeah, so we were talking before and I went, I don't know, I got some colors out that I really wanted to use. So I'm going to go chamomile. I have tickled pink because I love this color. It's touching neon. Good. And I also have coral red and cherry sweet. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but there's going to be a combination of these.
Good. So you're going with kind of a mix of different colors that are close to each other on the rainbow. I'm going with a color family. So I've got Arctic, Caribbean Sky, Persian Blue, and Sapphire, simply because I thought it'd be fun to have bold blue flowers. I don't know. Here's the thing. I feel like you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, there's Himalayan blue poppies, so it's a thing.
Oh, see? I didn't know that. I'm going to pretend I knew that, but I didn't. I didn't. All right, so now I'm on over stencil number 1. I'm going to start with a light amount of the Arctic color, but I may end up going heavier. I'll be using the big Mama Altenew large blending brush. This thing, I tell you, I love this thing. Now I'm going to take another stencil. I don't want to ink over the edge here, so I just lay another stencil over it so I don't have to worry about that. Let's see what I get here. Yeah.
So now sorry, you go.
Nope. I think I have quite a bit of ink already on my brush from the last blue I did, but that's okay. We're just going to put that color down very quickly. So what were you going to say?
And it's just going to add interest to it because you've got the different mottles in there. So that's good. I'm going a completely different way. I'm adding some yellow to my tips. And then I'm going to add some pink. I'm going to be using micro blending brushes. So these are new. So these ones are a lot smaller than the minis. So this is the mini. So these are the ones that everyone loves. But the micro, you can see that we have near enough, like I would say a third of it maybe. And yeah, these are really good for getting in some really tight spots and a great addition to your blending tools. Also, if you have a desk that's not quite flat and things roll, like mine, I can stick them to my sticky mat and they don't go anywhere. But just
Nice. Very nice. All right. I'm using one of the micro brushes just to add a little bit of a slightly darker Caribbean sky color, kind of towards the like inside of the flower. So like at the base of the petals.
yeah.
But I'm not spending a whole lot of time. This is one of those forgiving sets because they're so big and there's so many different stenciled areas. It can be pretty forgiving.
Yeah.
Might even
Definitely.
do it.
I love the fact that when you get more ink in the center, it gives that really natural look rather than just like a full solid color over the whole piece.
So on yours, you did, which is the yellow?
I've used the chamomile.
And then the tickled pink.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous. Gorgeous. And by the way, the micro brushes, I believe it's in the box. I think it's 2 of each of these 2 sizes.
So we have 2 10 mils and then 2 7 mils.
There you go. Love it. Love it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and remove my stencil and I'm going to clean it later.
Yep. That's just going to go in the sink with them all.
So you can see I did some inking over the gray. And since that gray was such a light color, you don't see that through it. So you could have stamped this gray stamping afterwards, but I found it was just as easy to do beforehand. And then you can kind of cover that up with the colored ink. All right.
Cool.
Woo. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. Look at that. Dang. I love it. Mm.
It's because
I
we
love
don't
it.
get much sun in Wales, so when the tropical colors come out, I'm like, yeah, it feels warm at least.
Well, I'll tell you, in Ohio, it's just dreary every other day, it seems. I don't know. It was nice earlier. Now it's dreary again.
Wow.
Never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, they say in Wales, like, oh yeah, we do get a summer. Last year it was on Wednesday. So we don't get much summer. But we get some. But yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so we've lined up stencil 2. And remember, there are engraving marks or etched marks, which help you to figure out where to line it up. And you also have the guide that makes it easy to follow. Now, over this, you could do the same colors. You could change it up. What did you decide to do?
I'm going to go the same as I did before.
Okay.
I also want to say about the stencils, when you get the first stencil and you get that in place, the rest of the orientations of each of the stencils will near enough be the same. So you can see that you're kind of just popping it in the same position. So you don't need to figure it out every go.
Yep. So mine was kind of offset like this.
Yep.
On the first stencil. And now the second one has that same kind of offset. That's one of the things I really appreciate about Altenew stencils is because if you kind of get that first one lined up, just follow that same kind of basic orientation.
Oh, I love them. And I love the fact that you have that etching. So it means that if you really wanted to use the stencils by themselves, it would take a little bit of extra work, but you can have that no line look with just doing the stencils.
That's true. That's true. I didn't even try that with this one. I bet that would be pretty. I bet there's examples on the website.
Yeah, I would check the product page.
Yeah. All right. So I did Caribbean Sky first, and now I'm coming in with my micro brush to add just a little bit of the darker, perfect Persian blue. I love that color.
Oh, it's like the primary blue. When you get crayons, that's like the
Yep. I also like the Ride the Wave color. That's a great blue too.
Yeah.
So pretty. Now I'm not taking much time to blend between the two, like to because these inks will just dry and kind of blend into each other, and it'll look lovely. So over each of these stencils, you're using the same 2 colors, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be using, and I'm also using a touch of the Cherry Sweet right at that kind of tip at the base.
Okay.
Just to really darken that pink up.
Nice. All right. Seeing if there's any questions. Mike, are there any questions that we're missing?
I didn't catch any.
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is fun that we're doing different colors so you can see a variety. And then I also have the cards that I completed to practice for this, and that's even a different color combo. So it'll be fun to see the different options.
Yeah.
I'm loving Lydia's.
I love the fact that just changing the color changes the whole mood and feel of it.
Oh, yeah. For sure. All right, let's see what yours looks like. Now that's a garden I want to live in.
Yeah. We'll just make some hats with it, and then we'll sit there and drink tea.
There we go. I like it. Now these stencils and this stamp set are kind of an artsy look, like more of a whimsical. So you're going to see in the end that there will be some areas where there's like a little bit of white between. It's not meant, these layering stencils aren't meant to color in the petals and leaves exactly. You'll see that in a moment. So it's really forgiving to line up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a watercolor effect, I would say.
Yeah, and I'm getting better at watercolor because Jen went live with me and taught me some things that I needed to know. So I'm getting there.
How do you pick color combos?
How do we pick color combos? Lydia, how do you pick your color combos? Because you're really good with color.
No.
Somebody asked that question.
I just kind of look and I think, yeah, that's how I'm feeling today. And obviously I was feeling pink and yellow. Some days I have other days, but I love this color combo. And I just think it's something that makes people smile just with the kind of differentness of it.
I also like the coral. What is it? Coral berry? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I like that in the combo that you've got there too. I went the easy route for this particular card. I'm going with blue inks that are in a color family together, so I know they're going to work well together.
Yeah.
So otherwise, like if I'm doing multiple colors, I highly recommend looking at some of the websites. So like going to Altenew's website for this product, and there will be lots of examples. Altenew has tons of examples on their site, and you'll see a variety of styles and color combinations. So maybe that can often be helpful in coming up with a color combination that you would want to try with a particular product.
Yeah, definitely. Just play with it. It's paper at the end of the day, and I'm sure that you're gonna find some really good ones and be happy with what you come up with.
So for that last one, I did the Persian blue, and I went heavier towards the base of the petal, and I left it almost white on the tip. So that's another way to fake it that, you're using a lighter and a darker color. You just go with a dark color and go heavy towards the inside and then out to basically nothing on the tip. And that's another way to get more out of your inks.
That looks so good. All right. I'm going to clear my ink up because otherwise I will put my finger in it.
Now looking back on my first petals, I don't like them, so I'm going back in.
Okay.
I'm going back in. Always a dangerous thing to do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and add a little more blue at the base. I think I'll do a little bit of Persian on there. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Just to put a little variation on those. There we go. Do you ever do this with stencils where you look at it and you're like, wait, that needs more, and go back?
You can definitely go back in. You can add different mediums as well. I'm thinking that maybe on this side, I want to add a little bit of extra dimension as you're coloring away. So I've just actually grabbed a coloring pencil. I'm just going to add in a few strokes just from the base, just to add a little bit of difference on this side rather than that side.
Oh, so only on the right-hand panel.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot, just a couple of flicks, and make sure that you're kind of curving them a little bit just to give them more of a natural look.
Nice. So you're using colored pencil for that. Can you do that with markers too?
Yep, you can do it with markers. You can use it with, this is just a normal coloring pencil, but you can do it with watercolor pencils and then not use the water.
Okay.
Double duty with those ones. But yeah, it's just going to add a little bit difference. It just looks a bit more arty, I think, from this side. But
that is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Somebody asked what this mat is, the sticky mat that I'm using. It's the Altenew 9x12 sticky mat. It's made from clear stamp material, so it'll just hold your paper and your stencils in place wonderfully. Like this stencil is kind of sectioned on here, so it's not going to move until you remove it. So it's a nice way to hold things down, and you don't have to use tape.
Yeah, so this one I think is out of stock at the minute, but if it is, please make sure that you do put your name down on the little bar that allows you to add your information. But we do also have the smaller one available too. Mine is very well loved, and they work as well as each other, and they are fabulous to use.
All right, I'm on to stencil 4 here, and this is the leaves, and I'm using Firefly. This is a nice spring green. I like to use this one.
Ooh.
Now, I only have one large blending brush for color family, so I'm not sure what color I used last on this. I might have used like a dark green. So I just rub this off onto a cloth to kind of get off some of that excess green so that when I come to this, it's more true color that I pick up. And I'm going to use one of these other stencils to just make sure I don't go over the edge. All right. You know what? Yeah, I think I'll use this.
Okay. You've gone bright and cheerful, and I'm going murky a little bit. So I have the matcha tea and also the swamp green. I love the name of the swamp green. It's one of my favorites. So I'm going to go in with those.
Well, it'll be good to see a comparison. Yeah, I generally go bright. I need to try to do some other things sometimes, but bright seems to be the place that I always fall.
I just love the olivey colors, and when these ones come out, I'm like, yep, they're my jam.
I like the olivey colors, especially with like the pinks and yellows too.
So this sticky mat, it doesn't take that much cleaning. You're just going to use like a chamois, a baby wipe, and just clean it off that way. It does attract dust and some embossing powder. So you are going to be able to counteract that with just cleaning it, and then it'll get sticky again. Are you doing your centers the same, or are you going to color those a different color?
The centers?
Yeah.
Oh, the centers. I'm going to come back with a marker
and
do that. If I remember. Oh, dear. It's Monday, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Let's see here. Gotta find a blending brush here. Actually, I'm going to use another one of the micro. This is Grass Field, which is a little bit darker than the Firefly. And I'm going to put a little bit of that like towards the base of the leaves. This is my go-to thing because I'm not great at shading. I'm not great at figuring out what areas need to be lighter or darker. That's just not my jam. So usually if I have a flower or leaves, I put the darker color kind of at the base. But if you want to learn a lot about how to color flowers really well, JC has a great class, an Altenew Academy, that is all about like coloring florals. And man, he is an expert.
He is amazing.
So how many ink colors did you use over that one stencil?
So I used the match tea over all of it, and then I was doing exactly the same as you. I add my darker to the base of the leaves. So that's going to give that gradient effect on that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Let's see here. Stencil number, is that 5? Yes, 5. Okay. So I'm going to do something that's always controversial.
Getting the scissors.
I'm getting the scissors out. So to save, all of a sudden Lydia's gone.
Oh, no.
To save, like on to make it more cost effective for us, Altenew will often put a few different elements that are meant to be stenciled separate onto one stencil. Instead of having 4 different stencils, they put it all on one. If you look, you can see there's like an engraved line that divides the parts up. I just cut those. I know, cover your eyes. I'm cutting along those engraved lines so that I end up having individual stencils. Whereas, you know, or you could keep it together. I'm guessing Lydia's probably going to keep hers together because she's smarter than me.
Yeah, I know. No, not smart. I'm just scared. I mean, I'm a stamp snipper. I will snip those stamps because it feels good, but I've never cut into a stencil yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes more sense to me because now this is a stencil. Like this goes on its own. And actually this one, if you follow the picture, this one is for this little leaf up here, which is mostly cut off for me. So I'm just going to quickly add some green to that.
And it's just got that little flower center on there as well.
Yep.
But
so it lines up for that.
It does line up perfectly.
Skip some leaves.
I'm going to come back. This is what we're doing now. So these leaves haven't had color. That's what you use these last ones on. So let's see. I think you have to, I need to cut this. So again, there's an etched line there. So I know this is an individual stencil to me. And according to the package or the guide, this goes in and colors this. So you could do the same colors you used before, or you could change things up. I'm going to go a bit darker on this one.
I'm going to stay the same. We have a couple of people that are covering their eyes, and then we have some people that are agreeing to cut them off. Well,
it just makes more sense to me. Now I know this is a stencil this area is a stencil that's used by itself, and I'm just following what's on the packaging. But hey, everybody do whatever you feel comfortable with because,
yep,
they're your supplies.
It's supposed to be fun. So if you're worrying about it, it's not doing its job.
Nope, I agree. I don't know. I like to cut stamps and stencils because then it makes more sense to me next time I come around to the same supplies. Like I know that, how the different pieces are used. Now this one, I'll do the dark first. So you did the same color on all of yours?
Yep, exactly the same.
All of these.
I'll just change up the second layer because we have a second layer for the leaves.
Yes. All right. People are asking if they're who's the stencil cutter. I never broke rules in high school. I was not a troublemaker, so I have to break rules now. I got to do it at some point, right? There we go. All right. Now this guy, I'm going to look at these etchings to see. This is going to go right onto there. There we go. So I can follow the etchings. Line that up. There we go. And this will add the details like to the leaves. So you want to use a darker color here. You could actually go in with a white if you wanted to, but I like to use a dark color for this.
So I'm going to go in with swamp green and then a little bit of oak moss. I used swamp green to add the darker shade on this one, but this is going to be the lighter shade for the second layer.
Awesome. I like those greens. I need to reach for those more often. I seem to use a lot of the same greens.
Yeah, these ones
are usually more of a Kelly. Look at that. Gosh. This is so much better than stressing out and coloring.
Yeah. It's so much quicker as well. If I was to sit there and color it in, I'd have been there for hours.
Well, some people are, some people find it therapeutic. Not me. I find it very stressful to color. So I feel like the coloring stencils like this were made for people like me who want to have good results without the stress.
I like to fussy cut. That's how I get rid of my stress.
Is it?
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of people have an aversion to fussy cutting,
Oh, I love it.
but I don't mind it.
No. Especially like washi tape. When you cut through that, it has a different feel. That's my favorite. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, I glue die cuts together. That's mine. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's mine. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So you can see now that these are designed to kind of have a loose coloring. So you can see like there's white highlights on the tips of some of the petals. You can leave that as is, like there's a white highlight here. Or like I felt like this white highlight was on this flower here was a little too bright white for my bold colors. So I'm going to fake it. I'm going to add a little color in. So I'm going to come in with my Arctic and my micro brush. And I'm just going to put, this is one of the advantages of having a tiny brush, is I can go in and just add a little bit of blue to that. And so it's not that bright white anymore. Now, normally I would leave that white. Like I think it would look good on what she's creating and what Lydia's creating there, but my flower is so dark, I didn't want that to be so bright. So I just added a little blue on top. Oh, I think I'll leave the rest. Oh, look at yours. Oh my gosh. That's gorgeous.
I'm loving
So
yours.
pretty.
I love those blues. And I don't use blues that often, so I think I may need to swap some of my colors out. Give them a
those are great. That's a great blue family, the one that I'm using. And now I'm cheating. And for the center of the flowers, I'm just using a black pen. I wanted the centers to be black, but you could do a bright color. You could do a gold ink, whatever you want. But I cheated. What did you do? Did you use brown?
I just used my greens, but you said use some gold, so I'm just going to add some little gold dots.
Oh, smart.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Isn't that fun? Oh, so much fun. All right. Now, for the fun part, take these apart, and we have two backgrounds for two cards. Yay.
They're too pretty.
And I stick this on the edge of my desk, and I'll reuse it a few times. That's one of the nice things about that tape.
I stick mine on my die cutting machine because I always need tape to use die cutting. So my die cutting machine is just filled with tape.
So this one here, remember we did that light gray stamping first, and then we did the inking on top. So now see how that light gray leaves kind of fill there. I call those fillers. It kind of fills in around these big, bold flowers. So we have two backgrounds. All right, which one should we do first? Should we do this one first?
Okay.
Do you remember what we?
Yeah, we can go with this one.
Okay, so we're going to set this one aside for now, and we're going to finish off this one. And this is one of my favorite things to do. When you have like a beautiful panel like this with any kind of stamping or stenciling, where it's just like a solid flat panel. I'm going to put this into my stamp wheel on my sticky mat. TJ said, Lydia, are you a UK nocturnal vampire like me now because I follow craft in US companies?
Yeah, we are nocturnal now. The sun's definitely down. It's actually 9:20. But yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh man, I'm in my pajamas, done for the day at that point. I can't.
I'm not saying that I'm not wearing my pajamas.
Well,
on the bottom half.
Hey, what I always say is hard pants are not allowed in crafting. They have to be soft, cozy pants.
Yeah.
For sure.
PJs all the way.
For sure. Okay, so I'm going to use the pinstripe stamp, and I'm going to place this on our background or onto our cardstock panel here, and then place remember I've got that little heart there, so I know that's goes towards the bottom. And by the way, I don't know how you do this, Lydia, but what I like to do is I hook these two corners into the mat or into the base of the stamp wheel, and then I plant the rest down.
Yep, that's it. That's exactly how I do it. And I was going to use the same stamp as you. I have it out, but I did want to let people know that we do have that grid on the back of the ultra sticky mat. So I'm going to use this.
That is so smart. Yes. Here, I'll show, while you're doing it, I'll show up close. Mm-hmm. So the top surface of the sticky mat is smooth, like a clear, like the back of a clear stamp. Then the back side is a grid. And the reason I like this is that when I stick this onto my glass mat, it's not solid, so it pulls off pretty easily, but it will stay in place until you pull it off. So she's going to stamp with that grid. That's so smart. And so much faster than what I'm about to do.
Yeah, well, I was just being lazy.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What color are you going to use?
You're going to get diagonal. I'm just going to get gritty.
Yeah, well, you could always put yours in at an angle, but I think it'll look great. So what ink are you going to stamp with? Are you using Cloud White too?
Yeah, I have Cloud White. But now I'm wondering, do I change it to gold?
Ooh, that could be pretty.
We can try it, because everyone's going to see your white.
I need to re-ink my white ink pad badly.
Okay.
But that would involve finding my white re-inker.
Yeah, that can be tricky.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have two golds. The antique gold works best on like dark colors, and then the enchanted gold works best on light colors. So I'm going to go with the enchanted one.
Nice. Very good. So really, I think for the step that we're doing now, where we're stamping over it, a metallic ink is good, a light color ink is good, or white.
Yeah, so
you'll see with the
something opaque.
Yes, and I'm doing white, so you'll see the lines on the blue and green stenciling, but you won't really see them on the white background. So we just added this little bit of stripe on top of the blue and the green. But it's a diagonal stripe, so what I'm going to do is ink it up again and turn it. And that's one of the nice things about using a stamp wheel, is that you can turn the top plate and stamp it again. All right. So you used which of the gold again?
I used the antique gold. This one works better on dark colors. Okay. I wanted to see it more on the flowers than I did the background, so I thought that was the best way to go about it.
So when I stamped this the first time, I had my heart down here, so you can see the stripes are going this way. Now I'm going to turn it, so this is pointing off to the left, and now my stripes are going this way. So when I stamp it on top, I'm going to get a plaid. Now I wanted soft white. Mine needs re-inking, so it's pretty soft, but if you want it to be more intense white stripes, you can stamp it twice. But I wanted the softer look. All right, let's see. Oh, I love it.
It looks so pretty.
So it kind of looks like there's tulle over it, you know, like a little bit of knitting. All right, let me see yours. I want to see yours.
Okay. I'm hoping that I got it stamped correctly. Okay. It kind of looks like I stamped onto grid paper.
Oh, I love it. Can you hold it up to the camera?
Yeah.
Let's see it close. Oh, I think that's awesome.
That looks so cool. Oh. Thanks, Jennifer.
That's awesome. Okay. Now I need to do that. So hers is like a grid, and mine is kind of a diagonal plaid kind of thing, but similar looks. She used gold ink. I used white pigment ink. You definitely, if you use like a gray or a light color ink to stamp that, it will get lost on the dark color. You definitely want an opaque ink, which is a pigment ink, because that blocks the color from showing through it. So her ink and my ink are both pigment. She used the gold and I used the white. Isn't that fun? All right. Okay. Well, that was, hey, it worked. I like when things work.
So and I'm glad that things look very different either end. So lots of different options just by changing a few little things.
Now you can finish off this card however you want. I am going to trim my background down a little bit here because I want to have it on a black note. So there's a little bit of black around the edge.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see if I did a good job cutting that. Yeah. Good. My new word is ish. It's good-ish. It's ish. Everything's ish. I just make my own words up when I craft. Okay. And by the way,
Your floor's cleanish.
heads up, heads up. I think this is on big time sale right now. Mike, can you check? I think it's like 60% off.
Really?
Mike, can you look? Yeah, it should be surprised.
Too.
I know. Last time it was on sale, I ordered a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, 60% off for the tape runner, and it comes with a couple refills.
Yeah, you get 3 refills.
And I have a link to that in my description. But yeah, that's and the stamp wheel's on sale too. Ooh, nice. Good timing, huh? Yes, this tape runner is fantastic. I really like it. It's one of the better ones on the market. Now, what color note card did you do?
I've got a piece of craft.
Oh, I like it.
Keeping mine a bit, I don't know, softer maybe.
I like it. That's pretty.
The
The Altenew brushed gold would be pretty too if you wanted a little more, add more shine.
A bit of bling.
All right. Now,
The stamp that we used is the Bouquet of Poppies, and it's from Altenew. It was actually our anniversary stamp set. So that's the one that we have been using. It is huge, very pretty. You can see that we do have so many different images in here. So the one that me and Jennifer are using right now, we've been able to make 2 cards out of it, but you also have them singular ones at the top as well that won't get lost on a card either.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Now for a sentiment, I'm actually not going to add a sentiment to mine now because I like to have cards like this on hand for when an occasion pops up where I need a sentiment. So this could work for like a wedding, a sympathy, a birthday. This is one of those that could go for a lot of different things. So yeah, let me put the white paper back there. Somebody mentioned that. So now you can see I did the dark around the edge.
I think I have the same thing as you, and I keep a lot of sentiments over to the side,
Yes.
so I will just grab these out when needed. A lot of these are foiled. I do tend to grab these quite often, but just over to the side.
Here's
is not my favorite.
one of mine the one that I made off screen, and I used reds instead, and I added a sentiment to it, but it's basically the same thing. But there you can see what more traditional red is. And I really like this Hello Friend, and that is from the Sweet Bouquet stamp set. It's got Hello Friend, You're Awesome, and Happy Birthday, and there are coordinating dies that go with it. I just really like the style and size of these, and you can see it worked really well, kind of in this little nook right there. Where do you think you'll put your sentiment?
I'm gonna go with, because some of my favorite ones are the smaller kind of strip sentiments. I have a lot of the essential sentiments because I can create lots of them in one go. I'm not a fan of creating sentiments, so I tend to do that. I would put it over the edge a bit. I don't know, just to add a little bit, but I'm probably about there for that one.
Wonderful. That's great, because then you cover up less of the beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
Let's see. TJ asked what the stripey stamp is. It's the Altenew pinstripe. This is an oldie but goodie, probably one of my most used Altenew sets because it's just great for techniques. You can do kissing techniques. You can stamp over stencil with this. And I just really like this kind of look of tulle laying over the flowers. And all of the stuff on my channel, all of the supplies are linked in the description. So look at yours. Can you hold it up to the camera so we can see it again?
Yeah.
Man, that's gorgeous.
My lights are blinding, so I hope that.
No, it looks good. I love it. And see the white highlight on her flower? How it just really makes it pop. Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I am loving
Yes,
them.
all of these supplies are still available.
Yep.
All right. Now we got this card to finish off here, right?
I'm bringing them in.
There we go. Now this one, I'm going to use something else from the big Mama stamp set. I gotta find it. Here it is. I'm gonna use a butterfly. So there's a butterfly in here. I'm going to make it look like the butterfly is kind of landing on the hello, I think.
Okay.
I think that's what What are you going to do? You're going to do the same thing, or are you going to change it up?
I'm just thinking. I'm like, what have I got? What bits have I got off to the side? I have some vellum. I might use that.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
And what I do with my vellum, so I can stick it down, is I do have some double-sided on the back of it, and I keep that over to the side as well. So yeah, I'm going to use that.
Oh, smart. Yes, that 9x12 sticky mat is out of stock, but I think you guys have a notify me button, don't you?
Yeah,
so
we have the notify me, so you can grab that one. But if you wanted it right away, you do get one in the stamp wheel. If you were to purchase that, you get a smaller one in there. And we also have the other sticky mat available as well. So there are choices if you didn't want to wait.
Altenew's good at giving us choices. I like choices. Choices make me happy, but I usually choose it all. Let's be honest.
Hands up, who wants all? Yes, please.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's see here. I've got to find my butterfly. So I'm going to look at this. So I'm doing this butterfly right here. So it says to use stencil 8. So I have stencil 8 here. It said to use stencil 8G, and there's a G on here. And I'll just line that up. Again, this is one of those artsy kind of coloring in. So what did you do there?
Stamped it in gold. I went off on a tangent.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, please do. Tangents are good. All right. I have, coffee ink here, or caramel toffee, sorry. Sometimes my inks make me hungry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go very heavy at like the body and then go lighter out from there. So it's like, just has a bit of color to it. You could do a light color and then a dark on top of it, but you know, I don't think it's necessary. Easy enough.
I think that's going to look great. Because I've stamped with pigment ink and it does take a little while to kind of dry on vellum, I'm just going to add a tiny bit of color using some colored pencils. That's all.
Oh, I've never used colored pencils on vellum. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it works really, really well. And if you wanted to do it from the back, you can get a much softer look too.
I've used alcohol markers on the back, but not colored pencils. That's a great idea. Somebody asked about that stripe stamp again. I'm telling you, it's an incredible stamp set. Pinstripe. And if you go to my blog and search on Altenew Pinstripe, you will see a lot of blog posts pop up, videos that I have used this. And if you go to Altenew's website and search on Altenew Pinstripe, or the links are below, you can see a ton of examples that they have on their site too.
Yeah,
a lot of examples.
A usable stamp set. You also got this little polka dots at the bottom as well, so you don't necessarily have to use the pinstripe pattern if you didn't want to.
All right. Now I've got the coordinating die here. I'm going to cut this out. So it might be loud for a second here.
No worries. I'm gonna fussy cut.
See, she likes to fussy cut. It's quieter.
It is. It takes a little bit more time, but it's not going to take too much. I do leave that white border around the outside edge because we're going to be sticking this down to a white piece of paper, so it's not going to matter.
Yeah. So with this technique, remember how we used one big stamp and stamped across 2 panels, so we could do 2 for 1. If you don't have a stamp this big, look for any stamp that is larger, and you can stamp it like once or twice, maybe take a large, I've done a video where I took like a large flower and I stamped it once kind of here at the bottom, right across the seams of the two pieces, and then once at the top. And then you end up with two panels that have like a floral border on it. So look at your bigger stamps for that, or bigger stencils too. The butterfly is from that same Bouquet of Poppies set.
Yep.
So that where we got that big poppy image, there are two butterflies in that set. So it's got the same feel.
You answer this question.
Sheila asked, maybe talk a little bit more about the gold ink. She said, is the gold ink metallic or just a gold color?
Oh yeah, so this is really, really metallic. So we do have a shine on it. You are going to get a pleasant shine. It is very pretty. It's pigment, so it's going to sit on top of your cardstock rather than dye it. So that's when you're going to be able to get that metallic sheen on that one.
So this is the enchanted gold.
Yeah, it's so pretty. So that butterfly is from the Bouquet of Poppies. There are two different butterflies in there. So if you love to use them and add them onto your cards, that is a good one to go with. It's so pretty. Yours is so much juicier than mine. Yeah, I'm thinking I might need to add a little bit.
This is the enchanted gold. Yeah, look at that, how this shines.
It's so pretty.
Let's see if I can find the other one. I don't know where it's hiding. Probably
Yeah,
lava.
I can add them onto a piece of black cardstock here.
I got it. I found one.
Yeah.
And this is the antique gold. And I find that this has some, to me, it looks like it has, hold on, see the sparkle to it? It's got some sparkle.
They're just so pretty. I love the fact that there's two different golds.
Wait a second. I think mine,
Backwards.
I think my lids are backwards. Okay. So my lids are backwards. I have it written on the lid. So the antique gold is more solid.
Yeah.
When you stamp it. And that's this one on the top.
So the antique gold is what I would recommend for dark cardstock. The enchanted gold looks better on lighter cardstock.
Yes. So it gives kind of a metallic gold shimmer. So this is the enchanted on the bottom. So this one, the top one is more opaque. It's more solid. All right.
People are asking me how I got this to dry quickly. I didn't. It's still a bit wet. What you can do is you can heat set this, or you can add some embossing powder off and then heat set, but it will dry finally. But yeah, mine's a little bit not at the minute. We're okay.
Okay. Let's see. So I have a note card here using my tape runner. I'm going to have to check. I may go ahead and get some more. It's on sale. Place that onto a note card. And I kept this full. I didn't add a mat, but you could if you wanted to. And for my sentiment on this one, using one of my most used die sets. This is the Timeless Sentiments. There's another one that's come out since then. That's the same style, but other sentiments. This has hello, love you, friend, hugs, thank you. And then there are the shadow dies too. I did the white for the shadow and black for the word itself. And I had a bunch of these already glued and assembled. So I just grabbed it right out of my bag and it's ready to go. So that's what I'm going to use here. And you can tell for my white shadow here, I actually use I keep my mess up. Like if I stamp something on white cardstock and I mess it up, I keep that for my layering for the dimension. Nobody ever sees that back. But you can see some stamping was on that.
I'm just trying to
mess up a lot.
Backing off here. All right. So because I'd added that to some double-sided, but I also want to lift the wings up a little bit. So I am gonna add a bit of that tape back on the back, just the same backing, and I'm gonna add some baby powder to this bit, and that'll take the stick off of that piece, so I can have the wings free again.
Well, Kelly said that poppies come in white, red, orange, cream, yellow, blue, and purples. So we are not limited to red. So there you go. All right. Now for my butterfly, I kind of did a fold right at the body. So I just have this little body here that I'm going to put glue on the back of. Oh man, I got clogged. I left my lid off.
Oh no.
So
as you can see now, because I added that
clogged.
powder on, that bit's not sticky, but this bit is. So I can stick that onto my piece there, and the wings can still be floating. So that's what I'm going to do.
Very smart. Okay, so I'm going to have this kind of sitting right there on the hello. And then I want to keep those wings kind of going up. So what I do is I squeeze a big glob of glue behind it, and I just let it dry, and that will dry firm. So it kind of keeps that wing up a bit, but it does take quite a bit of time to dry. So
yeah, there is a question about the round and the oval ink pads. So the main difference is the formulation's slightly different. On the round inks that we have, it is a little bit more viscous. So that means that it is going to take a little bit longer to dry, not too much. But if you do have trouble like blending, the round ones are so much easier to blend than the ovals. Also, the main difference is the shape of the pad. So the ovals, you open them with, you just take the lid off. With these, you have that really cool kind of twist system. So even when you drop these on the floor, that lid's not going to come off. They're really great to travel with, and they just look cute. I love the whiteness on them as well.
I do too. I drop my ink pads all the time, so I love having they don't fall off, and they stack so nice too.
They are fabulous. And also when as we've shown with these sticky mats before, if you have trouble opening your inks, all you need to do is just put them on the sticky mat, give it a twist, and even blending, you can keep it there and it's not going to move about on your desk.
Yep. All right, so I added some of the gem sparkles. Ooh. These are from Altenew. Let me see, I've got the clear here. There's clear, and then the ones I used are gold and silver. Now these have a lot of sparkle to them because they're different than other gems. I don't know if you can see, like, they're just kind of a different, the facets on it are different. So there's a lot of good sparkle. And I like that there's really big ones that are good when you just need something a bit bold. So they have adhesive on the back already. What I do is I kind of tuck a little craft knife under it to pick it up and then place it wherever I wanted. And I scattered just a few on my card. Now this is the one I did off screen, but here's today's.
That looks so cool. The fabulous Jen Raza is in the comment section as well.
Oh, Jen, I'm very excited for her. Okay.
Yes.
So there we have our.
They look fabulous. I love all the different looks we've got with these same supplies. I did have a couple more that I had.
Oh yeah. Let me see them. Let me see them.
So this one, I used blues, and then I added some artist marker in there just to add a little bit of difference. This one is a red one. Again, I've used some artist marker there, but then this one, I used some rainbow colors for that one. So you can definitely play around with this and create some fabulous and different looks.
So tell us more about that rainbow color one.
Yeah, so
how did you do that?
So this one here, every time I colored a petal, we had one petal through the stencil. I colored it with two colors, and it would either be a yellow and a blue, or a blue and a pink, or a pink and a yellow. So I tried to keep two colors on each of the petals. I didn't really worry about adding more of the ink at the base like we have done with ours, because you were already going to get a lot of color variation with the colors that were chosen.
Nice. And then did you color the background black around it?
Yeah, that one is a navy artist marker, and I just kind of went around with my pen and then colored it in. That's one of my things that I do to relax, just one massive background. That coloring I can do. I can do that. I love it.
That's beautiful. So On your cards that you added the sentiments to today, somebody asked what your sentiments say. It's kind of hard to see on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
The cards you
Sorry.
made
We
today?
have Miss You
okay.
on this one. My lights are not great. And we also have Hello Friends. So they're from the Essential Sentiments. It's a hot foil plate. It has a number of different sentiments on it. And then it has a singular die where it cuts all of them sentiments out at once. I love that type of sentiments because making sentiments is not my favorite thing to do. And this is another great one if you do like creating lots of different sentiments at once. This is the One Go Words and Banners. And that can create lots in one go too.
So you stamp a big stamp that has a bunch of sentiments and then use the die that lines up and cuts them all out at once. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's my
Yay.
Yay.
Well, that was fun. I still have to add a sentiment to mine, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on that.
For when you need it.
Yeah, you know, that always seems to pop up. And on this one, you could probably also stamp a little sentiment underneath it too. You know, when an occasion pops up too, or put it on the inside.
Yeah, just have a little strip. That'd be cute.
It's fun to see in the comments. Everybody has different opinions on which is their favorite. Some say your red, some say my blue. It's fun to see how a lot of examples because you can find something that appeals to everybody.
Yeah, and I think that having so much that you can do with it and changing the look of it so drastically is great.
Yep. Wonderful. Well, I think that wraps it up. Did anybody have any more questions from us?
Yeah, we can move up and then we can answer some questions.
Sure. There we go. Well, that was fun. That makes a Monday a little more fun, huh?
Yes. That was like a really good Monday. It didn't even feel like a proper Monday. It's like a Friday Monday.
I know. And it's end of day for both of us. It's a little earlier here, but we can go relax now. Okay, somebody, let's see, Sherry asked, will your cards be posted anywhere?
I can post them on my Instagram,
Okay.
probably tomorrow when I'm awake. But yeah, I can post them. And we can post them on the Facebook page on Altenew as well, so they can be seen over there too.
And I will do a shortened version of this live if possible. I don't know if we stayed on topic though, so I might not do it, but I will send out a post with photos of my cards and I will put a link to Lydia's Instagram so you can go see the cards that she shared today and also see some more of her work. I will also put in that post a link to a guest video that Lydia did for my channel. That was fantastic in case you missed that. That was a few months ago. So you'll be able to see photos of these. What with
I will
colors
ask
you Lydia?
too.
Okay, great. Everybody wants to know the colors you use. Yep. So many good colors. Let's see.
You got this one, right?
Yeah. I'm just looking for more questions. Yeah, my shirt does match the stamps.
So the Hello Friend was from, which sentiment was that one from?
Let me pull it up here. It is the Sweet Bouquet. So there's Hello Friend, You're Awesome, Happy Birthday. There are layering stencils that go with this. The cool thing about this set, I love this set. The cool thing about it is there's dies too, and I'm going to throw around. But the layering stencils here also has this little lattice. So you can stencil the lattice and then you shift it. See the engraved or etched marks? You shift it to line up your first inking with those etched marks and then ink it again. And you get a great border. You could even do a background with that. And I like that they included that in with the stencils that are used to color in the floral image. But that's where I got the sentiment.
It's so good that everything's like kind of there and you've got little backgrounds in there as well.
This one would be fun on a envelope flap with whatever colors would match your card.
It also reminds me of when you have metal checker plate that you stand on. It reminds me of that. So doing it in embossed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that would be neat.
Yeah.
What is your YouTube channel called?
Mine?
Where can people find more of your work?
Yeah, so mostly I'm on the Altenew channel. So check that out. I haven't posted on my Altenew channel, YouTube channel for a while. So
Okay.
there might be some.
So if they want to see more of your work, you would definitely want to go to the Altenew channel.
Yeah.
And then also we will put a link to her Instagram because she's always coming up with good stuff.
Thank you.
So.
And yes, I do demonstrate on Create and Craft. It is me. Just put a
Oh,
bit
there you
on.
go.
That's all.
Nice. There you go.
So the grid stamp that I used was the actual back of the ultra sticky mat. So don't just think that you need it for sticking things down. You can use that stamp as well. And you can get your own grid paper if you wanted to. It's fab.
So
I just love it.
Back side. So the front side's solid. The back side has that grid. And she stamped with that, which was brilliant. Brilliant.
It's not.
I love it.
It's just that. We could use it all the time. All right.
It's just there, but I've never thought to use it. So well done.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer. This has been so fun. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure to stay up and craft with you.
We need to do this again. Maybe we'll do it earlier next time so you don't have to stay up so late.
I'm up at this time on Mondays and Thursdays, so we're good. If that's the day, we can definitely book it in.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching, and thank you for doing this, Lydia. I appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. It's been fabulous. Next time I'll do a collage. So,
yay! You can teach me.
Yes,
Yay.
And then you can do all the offshoots.
Wonderful. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It has been a pleasure. It has been a great Monday. We really do hope that you have a great rest of your week. And don't forget to craft your life. It's bye from me. And
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.